next consecutive days, which I'm so excited about. We'll do some liver-centric Qigong today, since there's a lot of upward energy coming up right now, and a lot of people are getting headaches, and there's a lot of anger. I'm hearing this a lot of like getting angry, maybe for some good reasons, or even some not so, just kind of out of the blue. So when there's a lot of upward energy, things become have a tendency to become a little bit more annoying. So we'll work with kind of soothing out the liver channel, which runs down the sides of the body, especially the rib cage. But first, and we're going to start off with some of my favorite exercises that are part of the animal frolics. So we're going to do some spine opening exercises, and then we'll go into some gentle activation, and then we'll do some really fun flows today. So let's start with some breath work. So one hand on the lower abdomen, one hand, another hand on top of that. And then look down, just feel your feet are about outer hip distance apart. Maybe close your eyes or keep them open. And let's start tuning into our breath. Let's slowing the breath down. Nice, slow inhale. And a nice, slow exhale. So you can either continue fully breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Another variation of this, you still inhale, the entire inhale is through the nose, but on the exhale, you exhale through the nose about 80%, and the last 20% is through your mouth. It's a really nice breath work to do if you're especially agitated. So it will look like this. So just inhale, and then exhale through the nose, like 80%. And then out the mouth, the last 20%. And then one more time. So that one's really nice. It's a little bit more of a cleansing breath rather than a tonifying breath. When we breathe in and contain the breath by breathing in and out through the nose, it's more about cultivating and bringing in. But that variation has that little added bit of release and letting go. So we're going to go into a version of knocking on the door of life called bear walking, which we've been doing, which just entails a little bit of a weight shift. So we'll just start gently rotating side to side as we shift the weight right to left, and then gently start knocking across the lower abdomen and the lower back. So you see, as we shift the weight over to one side, we're releasing the hips in the opposite direction. So it just gives it's a nice little variation. And because we're transferring the weight right to left and left to right, there's a little bit more of a pumping action also. And it's very grounding. So bear walking. I'm not really sure what bear is walking around like this, but it has more to do with grounding into the earth energy. I mean, it'd be hilarious seeing a bear just strolling around, doing a little knocking on the door of life. So just nice and loosey-goosey. If there was any issues with your knees, then I would recommend staying right center, just a normal knocking on the door of life. Or if you have any hip issues that it doesn't feel right, otherwise This is a great one just to get more fluids moving through, especially where the femoral arteries are that sort of connect the trunk to the lower body. I had my first lymphatic drainage massage on Tuesday, just because I wanted to experience it. And it's very gentle. So it's not like a traditional muscle massage, like a Swedish massage. It's more about gently moving fluids. But a lot of it was very Qigong-like, right? So we're actually doing a little bit of lymphatic work when we do Qigong because we tend to be knocking and moving energy through, especially where the lymph nodes are, where fluids tend to accumulate, the lower body, and then start to unwind. So we're moving energy, of course. That's what, Qi, our life force energy, but fluids are moving, blood's moving, joints are getting mobilized. So let's now step forward with your left foot. So your feet are at an angle. So we're going to be going into deer running. So we're going to make little deer antlers with our hands. So your index finger, your pinky finger, and your thumbs are both extended. So just your middle finger and your ring finger are curled in. And we're going to transfer the weight to the front foot. So you're bent in the front knee, and then pull your little deer antlers back so you're opening the chest. And then we're going to transfer the weight to the back foot. And as we do, you're just going to release those fingers and then very gently curl your fingers forward in so they touch your thumb. These are the hooves. And as we do that, we're going to transfer the weight to the back foot. So as we come forward, opening the chest, deer antlers, and then gently shift the weight to the back foot. You're going to curl your upper spine forward and your chin down as you extend your little hooves forward. So inhale, opening the chest. Exhale, transfer the weight to the back foot, and then your upper spine curls forward. So it's a little bit of a spinal cord breathing movement, like we're kind of coming in and forward. We're just transferring the intention to this sort of weight shift and this element of playfulness. They call it animal frolics for a reason. Nice and slow. And so we're moving in two different directions. Our arms are doing these fun little movements with our fingers. So this is a really great type of work to do for our brains as well. So inhale, open the chest. Exhale, curling forward. Transfer weight to the front foot and to the back foot. So we inhale, think about opening the front of the chest. Exhale, opening up the back. And next time we transfer the weight to the back foot, just step back. So now we're back to neutral. And now we'll step forward with your right foot. We'll make those deer antlers, transfer the weight to the front foot so we're bent at the knee and open the chest. And then transfer the weight to the back foot, make little hooves as we exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Animal frolics, Qigong is actually a pretty ancient version. It's actually probably one of the oldest forms. They just observed the animals as they are in nature and gleaned movements that they thought would be beneficial by mimicking these creatures of nature. So inhale, open up. Exhale, curling forward. A couple more. Now the next time we step back or transfer the weight to the back foot, step back. And you can shake it all out. Maybe shake out the lower spine. And let's go into, I think we're going to skip silk reeling today. We're going to do some chi massage. We're going to do full body chi massage. And at the end, we're going to come up. The liver channel runs down the inner part of the legs and comes right up into the rib cage. So we're going to do a little more focus up here. But let's start by knocking across the center of the chest. Just opening up all of these little areas where emotions like to lodge themselves. Maybe you had some kind of upper respiratory infection recently or allergies. So we're just stimulating the areas of the lungs. Let's come over to the, I'm sorry, I'm knocking across my little microphone here. The front of the right shoulder. And then open up the hands and we'll travel down the inside. So going down the yin part of the arm. And then from the fingertips, we'll come back up the outside. So we come up the yang meridians and then float down the yin. So after we do that about 3 times, that might have been 4 for me, we'll come to the center of the chest again and then over to the front of the left shoulder and then travel down the inside and up the outside. And again. Just starting to move. We're literally encouraging and directing our energy. Right? Going up the yang meridians and down the yin. So creating this little circuitry. Then come back to the center of the chest. Now we're going to do this trunk part at the end. So we're going to go right down to the lower back now so we can do the lower extremities. So we'll start here at the base of the spine. And then down to the sacrum and back up. And then from here, we'll start at the top of the hamstrings and work our way down the back of the legs. And then up the front. And again. And again. Then we're going to come up right over the belly button. And so the liver, we're going to work a little bit on the sides of the rib cage, the liver and gallbladder. So we're going to lift your right arm up. You can actually just rest your hand the back of your head. Take your left hand. We're going to start right at the armpit. We're going to go down. Okay, so start here. This is actually where the heart channel also begins. So we're giving our cardiovascular system a little massage here. And we're going to go down the side of the rib cage all the way to the hip. Now pick your arm up, start at the top and go down. So we want to go encourage the energy to go down. So instead of tapping up and down, we're just going to go down. So headaches, anger, agitation. Think about we're soothing the liver, the wood energy here. encouraging it downward. And then we'll drop that arm down, and now we'll go to the opposite side. So left hand behind your head. Start again at the armpit, and then gently work your way down the rib cage towards the hip. Come back up. This area doesn't get a lot of love, right, in general. So this is a great time to be giving the liver energy a little bit more attention. And drop the arms down. Just close your eyes for a minute. Let yourself feel, right? As energy maybe you feel as energy starts flowing, it's freer, right? You can actually get a sense of energy moving through these different pathways, through the tingling sensations. And then we can open our eyes, and let's go into a wider stance now. And now we're going to do a little bit of spinal rotation twisting. Again, it's a little more focused in this area. So bend the knees, the hands come to your upper thigh or your lower thighs above your knees. Take a nice inhale, and as you exhale, let's drop the right shoulder down so that you're peeking over your left shoulder. And let's just pause here. Inhale and exhale, so don't hold your breath here. Think about inhaling and growing a little bit longer from the tailbone to the crown of your head. I'm going to turn sideways. So think about from here to here, that on the inhale we're stretching, and then exhale we're able to go into the twist a little bit deeper. You don't have to actually come out of the twist, but like just energetically feel like on the inhale you're able to grow even a millimeter, and then exhale. Maybe you can twist a little bit more deeply. You can use your hands as leverage. So your right hand, right? If you're pressing that arm, that hand into your thigh, you might be able to twist a little bit more deeply. And then inhale to the center. Now we'll exhale and drop the left shoulder down. Look over your right shoulder. Again, feel a gentle lengthening on the inhale and exhale. A nice gentle twist. And then inhale to the center. And now let's move a little bit more on the breath. So we're going to exhale, drop the right shoulder down, look over your left. And then on the next inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, drop your left shoulder down, look over your right. And back and forth at your own cadence. Make it feel juicy, right? A nice long inhale, like you're just drawing in all of that good, fresh oxygen, and really letting go, exhaling all the gunk out. It's been a long winter. We've had a lot to accumulate. And then inhale to the center, and this time just let yourself fold forward for a moment. You can either keep your hands on your thighs or bring them to the earth. And if it feels good, you don't feel dizzy at all, really allow your head to melt towards the earth. You should feel a nice release through the upper spine. And then we'll grab one wrist with the opposite hand. Let's slowly roll all the way up. Inhale, and let's do a few full body flows. So keep the knees slightly bent. We're going to exhale forward with a flat back towards the earth. And then inhale, slowly roll the spine up. Maybe press the hips forwards gently here. Exhale forward. And inhale. And exhale. And last one. Let's inhale, last stretch all the way up. Exhale out. All right, let's bring our feet back to our shorter stance. And before we go into our flows, let's do a little stretch for the head, neck, and shoulders. This time, let's just do, we're going to do a little bit of rotation here since we're working a lot in this area. So let's have your right arm resting on the low back. Just like this, so the palm is facing out. Nice and loose. And then we'll take the left arm perpendicular to the ground, right in front of you. So your fingers are facing up, your elbows down. Take a nice slow inhale. And as we exhale, keep the knees a little bent. As we exhale, you're going to rotate over to the right. And as you do, right where you get to the end of the rotation of your spine, take that arm across and towards the back of the room so your palm is pressing towards the back. It's going to open up the back of your shoulder really nicely. And then as we come back to the center on the inhale, nice and slow, keep rotating now over to the left. Okay, the arm is just coming along for the ride until we get to that max point of rotation, and then open up the shoulder all the way to the left. So now you should feel a nice opening through the front of the shoulder. So again, come back to the center on the inhale and slowly rotate over to the right on the exhale. And then press that hand towards the back. And then slowly unwind. Rotate over to the left. So we're rotating first. We want to make sure that we're rotating the whole spine. And then at the end, the upper spine continues to open up and the shoulder opens up. So we're still, it's like a little corkscrew. And then over to the right again. And then come back to the center. And now we'll do the opposite. So left hand on the lower back, right arm is perpendicular. Take a nice inhale. And as we exhale, rotate your torso over to the left. And again, right as you come to the max rotation, then press that hand towards the back of the room, getting a nice stretch through the outer right shoulder. And then inhale, come back to the center. Continue now to rotate over to the right, rotate, and then open up the shoulder, looking towards the back of the room. So inhale to the center, exhale to the left, and then press. And then inhale back to the center, exhale over to the right, and open up the front of the shoulder. And one more to each side. And then come to the center, relax the arms down, and let's do a little shaking and then we'll go into our flows. So we're gonna exhale with, since it's the wood season, it's spring, the sound of the liver is TS, I'm sorry, not TS, it's shh, like you're shushing someone. So we'll start creating a little pumping action in the lower legs, pumping the arms. Inhale through the nose and then exhale with a sound. And we'll start to slow down. Okay, so we are going to, we'll start with open the flow, and then we're actually going to go into repulse the monkey, which we've done before. It's when the arms are stretched out to the front and the back, and then we bring the back arm up and forward, and then we turn to the opposite side with a little addition. And then we'll be doing one actually for the hearing. We've had a lot of people with tinnitus or tinnitus coming in, a lot of ear issues. So we'll be doing a little exercise. The ears are the orifice of the kidneys, actually. But in Chinese medicine, there are some liver-centric patterns that can also manifest as when energy is flushing up too much. Think anger, and we'll descend that. So benefiting the ears. But let's first get our bearings with open the flow. So first, just place your palms in front of you so they're facing the earth. Just feel where you are in space right now. Let's organize and arrange our physical body so we feel like we are upright, connected, that our heart center feels rooted and grounded, and that our consciousness, our attention is also in this moment. Just feeling the connection to the earth through the palms of your hands and the soles of your feet. And then we'll start opening the flow. So inhale, the arms float up to shoulder height. And then exhale, they float down. And inhale. And exhale. So this is the part of class where we really get to drop into a flow state, which means we feel completely present. We're focused but relaxed. And the concept in Chinese medicine of Wu Wei, which is effortless flow that happens in nature, right? The river flowing down the mountain. It has strength, but there's an effortlessness about it. It doesn't have to work to do anything other than relax into the natural movement of water downward, or the wind that moves through the trees, The trees don't fight against it, right? They just move and sway with that chi that's moving through it. So thinking about all the systems of the body, the fluids, the blood, we don't have to work to do these things. They happen really below the level of our consciousness. There's an effortlessness about it. So we're tapping into that even in this movement. We just inhale and the arms float up. We relax, the arms float back down. Now let's exhale down into our chi ball for a moment. So we should feel a little more grounded and relaxed and open. So now this is the flow to benefit the ears and our hearing. So we're going to inhale the arms, float all the way up to our sides. And then we're going to bring the hands to the sides of the head right in front of the ears. So the palms are actually a little bit facing up and the pinkies are really forward. So we come up, just think about placing the pinky kind of up and back, and we're going to rotate. So the pinky comes up and forward in front of the ear and then down. So I'll show you a little further in front. So if we come up right in front of the ears, the pinky is reaching back first, and then we rotate the hands up and then forward and then down. So coming up, pinky reaching back, and then we rotate the wrist so the fingers come up, forward, and down. Inhale, rotate, and then exhale down. So like we're gathering energy from the environment, from around us, right in front of the ears, and then we'll rotate like we're helping to churn the energy, the fluids, the vibration through the ear canal, and then exhale down. Like we're taking in this golden light, right? Placing it into the ear and then churning it and then exhale down. Slow inhale, bring the hands in front of the ears, fingers facing back, and then rotate them up, and they come forward and then down. This time, let's just bring our hands and hold them right in front of beside the ears, I should say, a few inches. And just feel and sense the vibration of your hands against your ear, the sides of the brain here, right and left hemispheres. Imagine that you're sending golden light into both ears, into the sides of the brain. nourishing. And then slowly start to exhale. The hands come all the way down. And just drop your hands down by your sides for a minute. And just get a sense. Just sense your ears. Any energy that's moving through that area. And then let's open the eyes. And from here, we'll go into repulse the monkey, which has to do with the wood element and moving energy, not just through the rib cage where it tends to get stuck and accumulated, but also it's working with this side of the face that has also to do with the gallbladder and vision, which is also the orifice of the liver and the wood element. So we're going to start with your left hand in back, right hand in front, or arms, I should say, are reached towards the back and the front. On the inhale, take your back arm up so your hand comes right beside your ear and then your eye. And then it hovers on top of your front arm as you push your top hand forward. And as you do, keep extending. Now your right arm's forward. Your left arm's forward. Your right arm comes underneath. We're going to pull the right arm all the way back. So now we're extending to the front and back with the opposite hands and flip your palms facing up. So we start with palms facing up. Inhale, the back hand comes up right by the side of your head. And then exhale, I'm going to push forward. And as you're pushing forward with the right arm, the left arm pulls back towards your rib cage and then all the way to the back and flip your palms facing up. So we'll do that a few more times, just getting used to moving the arms in opposite directions. So there's a push and a pull that's happening. Inhale, and as we come up, that hand comes right by the eye. We're hovering it over the top arm and we're pushing, like we're pushing out energy that's been blocking us, maybe self-limiting beliefs, kind of clearing the old stagnation, the wood energy we want to clear out. And then bringing that hand by your eye, thinking about what visions you have that you want to manifest and put forward. So inhale, clearing out and making room and space in our consciousness for new ideas, creativity. So we're inhaling, drawing, gleaning gold from our past experiences, right? Getting rid of what's kind of keeping us and holding us back. And then we're able to move forward with clarity. So now we're going to start to add in a little movement here. So now as your right arm is extended forward, keep that arm forward and your left arm is underneath. Now we're going to drop both arms over to the left. So they're going to be on your left side all the way back, and then we're going to bring them back in like a big circle. So as we do now, the palms should be facing each other. And you're going to push forward. And then we'll open up again over to the right. So the same beginning movement, we come up, push through. Now we'll drop both arms down in a big circle, coming back up so palms are basically facing one another as we push forward. Inhale, extend front and back, draw energy up, slowly pushing forward and then drop down. Inhale, gathering, exhale, forward. Inhale, exhale, inhale, gathering in a big circle, exhale, push forward. So it's a little addition, right? As we clear the way, we drop down, we gather resources so that we have what we need to move forward. So we're still working just on this one side. We'll do the opposite in a moment. So we're always gathering over here to the left. We open up to the right as we start our maneuver, our flow here. Repulse the monkey mind. We're getting rid of all of the noisy chatter that causes interference, that clouds and muddles the waters, that we want to be nice and crystal clear. So we're able to bring forth all of those ideas that are percolating underneath. Now this time, let's just drop the arms down for a moment to our chi ball. Just as a reset, because now we get to do the other side. So this time we'll start with the left arm and back, right arm in front. Inhale, that back arm comes up, pushes forward. So now the left arm is in front. Drop the arms down to the right in a big circle. Palms face one another as we push forward. And again, over to the left, we open up. Inhale, exhale, push forward. Inhale, drop down to the right, we're gathering. And exhale, forward. Inhale, open up. Past and future, we're taking from the past all the gold, getting rid of all of the self-limiting beliefs, gathering resources, and then we're able to move forward with power, with clarity, with vision. Nice and slow. We're slow. We want to take time to gather our resources and move forward with stability and power and clarity. We don't need to rush. Just absorbing and moving forward. One more. And last time we're going to gather, push forward, drop down to our chi ball. And then drop the arms down. Inhale the arms down, around and up, gathering, and then exhale, the hands float back down. And inhale. And exhale. And one last time, inhale. And exhale. Let's bring the feet together. Let's have the hands land right below the belly button. Pause for another few rounds of breath here. Just feeling your center, feeling your roots, feeling your flexibility, your resilience, your creative force. And when you're ready, you can crack your eyes open.